Happy back to school, everyone. It's Melissa here from Little Kosher Lunch, and it's been a while, and I thought that getting back to school in fall of 2020 amidst the world pandemic of coronavirus was probably an opportune moment to talk to you about back to school lunches, getting in the right mindset for meaningful, comforting, and delicious back to school lunches is really as important as ever right now for you and for your child. So today I want to talk about 5 different tips that I am keeping in mind for myself and my family, whether you're going in person or whether you're going to be learning at home this fall. I hope that these 5 tips will help you and get you in the groove, and at the end of this video I'm going to actually assemble a lunch just to show you how I do it. I've got my very dusty lunch boxes out behind me. My first tip for you is to interview your child about what foods would make them happy to see in their lunchbox this fall. You might be pulling their lunchbox out of the refrigerator at home to serve them lunch, or they might be pulling their lunchbox out of their backpack away from you. In either case, I think it's important to pack it in a lunchbox so it's familiar and it really feels like school. Get the grocery circulars out, and this is a great way to interview your child and give them an activity. You can also let your child shop your pantry, shop your refrigerator and freezer. My next tip is pack in season. So just as you might see in-season foods in your circulars, you might see in-season foods out in your vegetable garden if you've been gardening like we have, or you might visit your local produce stand or order a produce box if you have those services available in your community. My number 1 MO is produce, produce, produce. Now, in addition to the produce, which you're gonna see at the end, I'm gonna fill my lunchbox with fruit, primarily fruit, some veggies, and then just whatever else you have. The whatever else might be foods from your pantry, and I'll show you some of those things that I keep on hand, leftovers from the night before, or maybe some convenience items that you keep in your freezer. Tip number 3 is really using your garden. So if you are in a climate where this is possible, be creative. I am growing my own produce. We have very generous neighbors who gift us produce, and we are finding produce on the side of the road. My husband's like, what'd you bring home today? Today, I stopped at one of those little free libraries in the neighborhood and I picked these grapes. These are just growing on the side of the road where I live. These are Concord grapes. If you are the one picking the produce, you can combine the fruit with the leaf that the fruit came from. And we're gonna put this in the lunchbox in a minute. But this teaches your child plant recognition so that when they grow up and they go for a walk, they will know a grapevine when they see it, and they'll know to look out for grapes in the late summer months. This is produce from my lemon tree and my neighbor's avocado tree. And my kids are very into scootering past this neighbor's house because on a daily basis these avocados are falling off right now, and so we have free avocados that we find in the road, and that's really satisfying. These are mouse melons or tiny cucumbers, and we're growing them in a pot on our patio. So this is just to give you some ideas. It's really helpful for my kids to be learning, and maybe you're going to be planting a garden this fall and you're going to want to plant the foods that your kids enjoy eating so that you can use those, and it's going to save you money and it's going to educate your child. Tip number 4 is batch prep. Half the watermelon has been cut, and by the end of today we're going to have the entire watermelon cut. We're just going to cut it once and serve it many, many times. Other foods that we're batch prepping are things like tuna salad or chicken salad. This was prepped a couple days ago and we're going to use it up today. Things like this broccoli that I got a ton of, and I just blanched a ton of broccoli. My tip number 5 is to have a few special tricks up your sleeve. I have one child who's going to be learning at home for the foreseeable future. I am stocking the freezer with some popsicles for her that she can have for her snacks, some ice cream, just some nice treats that I have at my disposal since we're eating at home this year. My Jewish mommy life has done really nice challah baking in the form of ABCs and Aleph Bet. I also picked up these Aleph Bet cookie cutters, and I'm so excited to use them. I got them with lunch boxes in mind, and specifically sourdough crackers in mind. Sometimes the special thing in a lunchbox is a tiny little toy surprise, a love note to your child, or a sticker, Sometimes the special thing can be their favorite dessert miniaturized. And sometimes that special thing is just a little flower or a little leaf or a sprig of mint or a garnish that is just one additional thing that makes your child feel acknowledged and special, even though you probably have 10 extra jobs right now. Let's get packing. I'm just gonna show you, based on a lunch I served earlier this week, what a sample lunch and snack might look like. And I'm gonna show it to you because it can be done pretty quickly with all of this preparation in mind. Before I forget, please let me know in the comments below if your kid is actually going to school or if they're going to be eating lunches at home. We have one of each in our household, so I'm going to be packing lunches no matter what. So here I have my lunchbox. I like to line my lunchbox with something, especially if the child is going to carry this physically to school, because it minimizes shifting and it also gives really nice contrast, and maybe they will eat the lettuce leaf if they're very hungry. And we're just going to do a quick tomato cup. Those of you who are new here, this is a really nice way that you can present some salads that you can bulk prep. So what I like to do is I like to get my little cups nestled. I did this earlier this week with sliced apples. This is a favorite food of my kids. This is just tuna or salmon salad and mayonnaise. You can put celery in, you can put pickles in, you can put whatever you like. I also do curried chicken salad with cranberries or raisins and curry powder. That's delicious. A little bit of broccoli. Your kid might like some dip on the side. I haven't gotten my dip out. Some cucumbers. We're gonna fit most of a plum in here. And then we're just gonna fit in something crunchy and, I don't know. Oh, and some watermelon. I like to just fit it in. For my sweet treat, I do stock my pantry with all kinds of goodies. One thing I purchased is buñuelos. The buñuelo you could even make yourself by taking some tortillas and frying them, and then you just toss them in sugar and cinnamon. And that's something really exciting for your kid to open their lunchbox and find inside. I think this is enough. I don't need to put a treat in the middle, but sometimes they do have little tiny miniature things, and I tuck it in here. Let's do a really quick snack box just to show you how simple a snack box can be. Someone did not wash this. Someone did not wash this very well. We're gonna have to clean out the supplies before school starts. So for a snack for my little one, I pack a little extra. If some of it comes home uneaten, I can shove it in the fridge and serve it again at dinner. I'm gonna really load her up with something salty and easy. This is generous, but I'm okay with it. On a beautiful little leaf. This took no extra time as I was on the side of the road picking these grapes. You obviously are gonna wanna serve your child what they enjoy. At our markets, we get local grapes right now in August and September, and they're amazing and delicious, and they sell them loose. So buy the kind that your kid likes. Cut them if your child is young enough that they need them cut for them. For my older one, snack is either gonna be something like this, or I'm gonna pull a popsicle out of the freezer for her. So be creative since you're in a home environment. Let's go over to my pantry and I'll show you a few things that I'm stocking that might inspire you to add some things to your grocery list. Let's go over there. Over here, I pulled out just a few props to share with you from my pantry. And again, these work for my family, so I won't be offended if you just really don't like salmon salad. I have here that I buy at Costco. This is the salmon that we buy, and this is the chicken that we buy. It is not kosher chicken, so that's just how we roll over here. It's just there in the pantry when I need it. I keep so many shapes and assortments of pasta. I picked this one up recently so that it felt fun and curly and colorful. This is my philosophy where I'm doing produce plus whatever. For quick desserts, one I like to do is pumpkin pie cups. These I would put in a little muffin tin. So these two items whip up really fast and can be an activity with your child. The idea back here is a classic from my childhood, and I always have cake mix on hand. So this is something that you can keep in your pantry. This does not have to be for the first week of school. This can be for the 5th week of school. Even though things like peaches are in season, sometimes I haven't gotten to the store, and this is something that was gifted to me. Maybe it's something like a fruit cocktail that you would pick up and have for your kids. So my kids really, really love this. I do pick up little cookies and sweet things. We're not very strict in our house. Most of all, you have a lot on your plate. Pick 1 or 2 of these tips to have in your rotation and to help your child out with back to school transition. It is a wacky and pretty horrendous year for most people who are parents. I hope that these tips help you to have a successful back to school, a back to school that feels a little bit good even when some of it doesn't feel good. And I would love your feedback. So let me know what it is that you're packing, what feedback have your children given you that they want to see in their lunch boxes. I could always use your ideas. Thank you so much for being here. It's really a pleasure, and I know it's been a long time, but I look forward to getting back into the lunch packing routine with my family too. Stay healthy and stay well. Bye-bye.